We sat down recently with Jon Batiste, band leader for The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, to talk with him about his reinterpretation of the Battle Hymn of the Republic, a project for the Atlantic's podcast, Radio Atlantic. Here's a part of that interview. More will air on Sunday on Face the Nation.
So that's nice.
Is that a piece that you just opened it up to?
Yeah, the waltz. They had the book here, so
you just.
Yeah, I like to take these classic pieces and just do my interpretation of them.
And how does your process work with music? How much of it has to be intentional? I am practicing this specific thing, and how much of it is what you just did?
Well, the fun is having that spontaneous moment where you're walking down the street and you're whistling a tune and you don't realize, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, wow, I can do something with this. But being here on the show and leading a band for so many years and just studying music, there's definitely a need for intentional practice, because you have to develop material for the band to play, or you have to really think about, what is it that I want to get better at? And you have to look in the mirror and say, okay, this is not happening in my playing. I want to make it happen.
What are you trying to make yourself better at?
Wow, I'm always thinking back to basics. How do I play a chord and make somebody cry? How do I make a chord and make somebody want to literally just jump out of their seat for joy? How do I play one note? Like, the basic, simplest things are the hardest in music. Pyrotechnics are impressive, but you don't want to impress somebody at the deepest level of music. You want to profoundly impact somebody's heart and soul and change their mind or perspective on something. So that's always a work in progress. I'm always going to get better at that.
Is thinking about the Battle Hymn of the Republic, is there a way you played it or a part that you tweaked with where you were searching for that heart connection?
Wow, there's so many things about that arrangement. You think about the that kind of march tempo. I wanted to keep that because I think that's so poignant in the lyric, as we spoke about, but also in the idea of it being a song during wartime, and a song where you are marching and singing, or you're in a group of people and it's a victory song. So keeping that element was very important. But thinking about different marches, you got the New Orleans second line march with the bamboola rhythm, the bamboola. So I took the concept of the march intentionally, but filtered it through a few other experiences.
The Battle Hymn is a song about ending slavery.
Yes.
As an African-American reinterpreting this, was that always in the background, in the front ground? How did that affect you?
It's in the foreground, as in everything in American culture. Race. You have to face race. If you don't face race, you're not going to fix the problems. If you don't face what we've been through in terms of race relations, then you're missing the point. The point is for us to figure out how to exist together. And if you ignore that or say that it's not there, then you'll never actually reach the goal of coexisting. And me, personally, I've experienced the power of two different types of cultures or two different worldviews coming together and not agreeing, but coexisting. So I wanted to definitely put that in the foreground of the arrangement of the Battle Hymn. And you hear that, those elements blending together. And I think it's beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Tell me about the voice you use in singing that.
It's a cry. It's the sound of a moaning soul. like, that timbre. And I think that you really get people's attention with that. And once you get their attention, that message can seep into them. That message that I think is in the music, which is we can all be here. We can all stand together, march together.
When you play the piano, writers talk about discovering a different person when they're writing. They actually feel like they are a different person when they're writing. When you're playing, are you Jon Batiste or are you somebody else?
At my best, when I'm playing, it's like I'm talking. So I'm here. Oh, is that right? Oh yeah, it's life. Music is life to me. So if I'm at my best, it's when I most authentically come through the instrument. The loneliest monk says the genius is the one who's most like himself.
I just had to let that sit there. That was good. So that was me being participating in restraint.
Woo! There's nothing new under the sun. So if you think about music in that way, you're just combining these elements of your life experience, your experience and the experience of others. Chopin, taking his experiences. And the thing that makes it unique is no one has ever lived your life, my life. We have our own unique perspective on the elements of music that were here since the beginning.
And even though there's nothing new under the sun, you're discovering all the time.
Yes.
Yeah, and so you're refining in this instrument that's been played and played and played by all kinds of different people. Each time a different person plays it, they play it new.
Yes, you don't want to hear me sound like somebody else. You want to hear me sound like me. And when I sound like myself, it inspires you. Even if you're not a musician, there's something about hearing someone project who they are through an instrument that's exciting. When you hear Miles Davis, or when you hear a great singer and you recognize the voice immediately just from the first note of the lyric. That's like, Johnny Cash or Billie Holiday, you just hear, it's like, oh, wow. There's something exciting about that. And that's what inspires me musically.
Because you want to show that voice, because of what you think it can do to for other people.
I think, yes. I think it can really enrich people's lives in a positive way. It's a tool. It's just another tool of service. If you believe we're here to serve, then this is just another way of serving other people around you and giving of yourself at its best.
Yeah. You once said you like to let your mind wander in the service of the audience.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I oftentimes think that what happens in the moment, and as an improviser, this, it can crash and burn, but I believe what happens in the moment is oftentimes greater than what you could think up beforehand. And if you let yourself get into that vulnerable place, letting your mind wander and finding it, you will find something eventually that is just, you'll discover something, I'll say, that is beyond. And people appreciate you for it.
So I can't keep you here all day, but will you play us out?
Yeah.
I'm letting you go now, Jon.
This is it there.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.